Hey, 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 happy Wednesday, everybody. It's time again for Quick by History Live, where we try to have a little fun with history. We are very happy to be here this evening. You can catch us live on both Wednesday and Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Tonight, we are happy to present four different shows in one. We will roll out the robots for three exciting lightning rounds of digital speed painting, plus a fun and educational quiz focused on the many adventures of Cleopatra. So that should be fun. First, tonight we'll be presenting 10 greatest archaeological discoveries of all time. So that should be a little challenging. And then next up, we'll do the 20 questions, the true false quiz of the Adventures of Cleopatra. Then we'll do 10 legendary warriors of the ancient world. And finally, we'll wrap it up with 10 key events from the Middle Ages. And I bet that one will be a little challenging. Anyway, these are all 10 subject, 12 to 15-minute rounds each. And if you stick around, maybe we'll go over a little what we're working on at the end of the show. Now, please do check in. If anybody's around, let's check in on the chat, say hello. Feel free to comment. If we see a question come in, we'll try to address it on the go. And this is, of course, where you give us your answers for the speed painting. Now, if you're ready, we'll go ahead and fire it up and get our first round going. Let's bring our robots on up and get them doing some painting. You know the rules. Robots paint, you guess. The category is 10 greatest archaeological discoveries of all time. So good luck. Discovered in the Valley of Kings, this site was remarkably intact. The discovery included a famous death mask made of gold. The tomb was meant for a young pharaoh who ruled in the 18th dynasty. Anybody know? This find triggered a global Egyptomania. It arose in the 1920s. The name of the pharaoh is often shortened to King Tut. But what's the full name and the place where this is? Can you tell? Who knows? Anybody know where this is? Or what archaeological place this is? Anybody got it? This indeed is Tutankhamun's tomb. It was discovered by Howard Carter, and it provided a wealth of knowledge about ancient Egyptian burial practices and treasures. There it is. King Tut's tomb. Next up. This archaeological find was found by French soldiers during a campaign in Egypt. It's made of grandiorite. Never heard of that. And inscribed with 3 scripts. That's probably the key clue. 3 scripts. One of the scripts is Greek, which helped unlock the others. This artifact was key to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphics. Who knows what this is called? Archaeological finds. This artifact was key to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphics, as I said. Its name is now synonymous with language translation tools. Its name is synonymous with language transition tools. Who knows this archaeological find? 1799 in Egypt. 1799 in Egypt. This is the Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone allowed scholars to finally understand and translate Egyptian hieroglyphics, opening up new insight into the ancient Egyptian culture. There you go, Rosetta Stone. Learn something every day here on Quick Bite History. All right, next up. This discovery was made by local farmers near Xi'an. Xi'an. Xian. The site contains thousands of life-size figures made of clay. Who knows what this one is? Archaeological finds. The soldiers were created to protect an emperor in the afterlife. It was commissioned by China's first emperor. This army is part of the tomb of Jin Shi Huang. Jin Shi Huang, and save that for, there's another one later. What is this called? Everybody should know this one. This is the Terracotta Army. The Terracotta Army showcases the grandeur of Qin Shi Huang's reign and advanced craftsmanship of ancient China. Terracotta Army. That's right. Okay, number 4 on our famous archaeological finds. This site was rediscovered by an American historian in 1911. It is located high in the Andes Mountains. The city is known for its impressive Inca stonework. Who knows the name of this place? There you go. You got it. Yake? Yeah. It was likely a royal state or religious site. The iconic site is often called the Lost City of the Incas, or the Citadel in the Clouds, and things like that. And you did get it. Good job. Good job. Yake? If I'm saying that correctly. Machu Picchu is one of the most significant legacies of the Incan civilization, highlighting their architectural ingenuity and spiritual significance. Machu Picchu, discovered in 1911 in Peru. Hiram Bingham. Oh, just yake. Got it. Next up, found in the caves near an ancient body of water. The scrolls include some of the oldest known texts of the Hebrew Bible. And again, we're doing famous archaeological finds. They offer invaluable insight into Jewish religious practices. Yeah, you got it. The discovery was made by Bedouin shepherds. Didn't know that. These texts are named after the sea where they are found. That's kind of the giveaway, isn't it? That's right. This is the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls are a monumental find, providing critical information about ancient Judaism and the development of religious texts. That's number 5 in our list of 10 famous archaeological finds. Next up, Dead Sea Scrolls. There they are. In more detail. All right, next up. These towns were buried under volcanic ash and pumice. And I'm actually looking for 2 towns. Some people only think of the one. but there were really two large cities. The disaster preserved buildings, artifacts, and even people in remarkable detail. Kind of gross. It was caused by the eruption of a famous volcano in 79 AD or CE, whichever you prefer. Evacuations began in the 18th century. Excavations began in the 18th century, revealing a snapshot of Roman life. The disaster that struck these towns is most famous eruption of Mount Vesuvius. Who knows the towns? Anybody know the towns? Two cities in Italy. Both of them are at the base of Mount Vesuvius. This is Pompeii and Herculaneum. Pompeii and Herculaneum offer a unique glimpse into the daily life of ancient Romans, preserved as it was in the moment of the disaster. Next up, number 7. You'll probably get this one. Discovered by teenagers during World War II, the cave is located in southwestern France. Who knows this? The paintings are over 17,000 years old, and they depicted large animals of the time. The site is a prime example of Upper Paleolithic art. Upper Paleolithic art. It is often referred to as the Sistine Chapel of prehistoric art. Who knows what the name of this place is? 1940, and again, it's in France. In France. Who knows the name of this place? Famous caves. Cro-Magnon people live there. Lascaux cave paintings in France. Lascaux cave paintings are among the most famous prehistoric art, providing insight into the symbolic and ritual life of early humans, of course. Okay, next up, this is related to a previous one. This tomb remains largely unexcavated due to concerns over preservation. This is the part they haven't excavated yet, I guess. It's believed to contain a miniature empire with rivers of mercury. Wow. I think that's one of the reasons they don't want to dig it. They don't want to get into the mercury. I don't blame them. Discovered in the same area as a famous clay army. So this is right next door to the famous clay army. The tomb is part of the burial complex of a Chinese emperor. And I guess that's who I'm looking for. This emperor unified China and is protected by the Terracotta Army. Who knows the name of this? Well, it's the tomb of the first emperor of China. The tomb of King Shi Huang is a remarkable archaeological site, still holding many secrets about the first emperor of China. There you go. You learn more than one thing every day on Quick Bite History. Next up, this site is located in southeastern Turkey. It predates Stonehenge by several millennia. It is believed to be the world's oldest known temple complex. Who knows who this is? Where this is? Excuse me. Famous archaeological sites. The site challenges traditional ideas about the origins of human society. The site dates back to around 9600 BCE, making it the oldest temple ever discovered. What was the name of this one? And it's interesting because supposedly they think it was just a religious place as opposed to also an agricultural city. It's not like a city. It's a place where they had parties. It's a party pack. This is Göbekli Tepe. Göbekli Tepe is a groundbreaking archaeological discovery, reshaping our understanding of early human civilizations. Okay, last one in the archaeological category. This has been a hard category. This cave is famous for its vivid prehistoric art. This is not the one in France, though. The paintings include bison, deer, and horses. Anybody know? Where's another prehistoric cave? The art is estimated to be over 15,000 years old. Who knows where it is? It was discovered in 1968. The cave is located in northern Spain. It is known as the Sistine Chapel of Prehistoric Art. It's also known as the Sistine Chapel of Prehistoric Art. How about that? Who knows the name of this one? It's in Spain. Famous archaeological. I think we're learning quite a bit tonight. This is the Cave of Altamira. It provides some of the finest examples of Upper Paleolithic art showcasing the early human capacity for symbolic thought and artistic expression. All right, well, that was a blast. That was kind of hard. Let's jump and do something a little different. Let's switch it up. Let's bring up our Cleopatra true-false quiz. Switch gears. See how you are at true false. Maybe a little easier. Adventures of Cleopatra. There we go. True or false? As a young girl, Cleopatra often visited the Great Library of Alexandria in disguise. True or false? This is true. A young Cleopatra often snuck into the Great Library disguised as a commoner. Next up. True or false? Cleopatra's brother and co-ruler was named Julius. Who knows? True or false? False. Behind my head there, Cleopatra's brother and co-ruler was named Ptolemy, not Julius. Ptolemy, of course. All right, next up. True or false? Cleopatra first met Julius Caesar by hiding in a vase, or vase. True or false? Who knows? This is false. Cleopatra had herself smuggled to Caesar wrapped in a carpet, not in a vase. So there you go. True or false? During their Nile expedition, Cleopatra and Caesar discovered a new species of animal during their adventure. This is also false. While they encountered exotic wildlife in the story, it doesn't mention discovering a new species. Now, the story that we're alluding to is my complete movie on the Adventures of Cleopatra. Go to my channel. Cleopatra. True or false? Cleopatra helped heal villagers during the Nile expedition using her knowledge of herbs. True or false? This one's true. The story mentions Cleopatra using her understanding of local herbs to heal villagers with a mysterious illness. True or false? The Battle of the Nile was fought entirely on land. Doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound right. False. The Battle of Nile was a naval battle. It was fought on the River Nile. Of course. We're doing true or false. Adventures of Cleopatra. True or false? Cleopatra used decoy ships as a strategy during the Battle of the Nile. Clever girl. True. Quick Fight story states that Cleopatra devised a clever ruse using decoy ships to mislead Ptolemy's troops. True or false? Cleopatra was present in Rome when Julius Caesar was assassinated. This is true. The story mentions Cleopatra being in Rome during the Ides of March. That's when Caesar was assassinated. Well, there you go. True or false? Mark Antony first met Cleopatra in Rome. True or false? This is false. Cleopatra invited Mark Antony to Alexandria where they first met. True or false? Cleopatra and Mark Antony emerged victorious at the Battle of Actium. True or false? What a happy couple, huh? This is false. The Battle of Actium resulted in the defeat for Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Beginning of the end. True or false? Cleopatra's son with Julius Caesar was named Caesarion. True or false? True. The stories tell of Cleopatra escaping Rome with her son Caesarion after Caesar's assassination. True or false? Cleopatra met Mark Antony on a luxurious barge with golden sails. True or false? This one's true. Cleopatra staged a grand spectacle for Mark Antony aboard a luxurious barge with golden sails. Nice. That was nice. Sounds like a party. True or false? Octavian was an ally of Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Octavian. True or false? True or false? Octavian was their enemy, leading the forces against them at the Battle of Actium. That darn Octavian. True or false? Cleopatra managed to save all her forces during the retreat of Actium. Did she save everybody when she cleverly did a retreat? True or false? False. While Cleopatra's swift action did save some forces, it wasn't a complete salvation as they were defeated. There you go. think we're on the last couple. True or false? In her final stand, Cleopatra sent out false information to mislead Octavian's troops. That sounds like her. That's true. Her stories tell of Cleopatra sending emissaries with false information to lead Octavian's troops on a wild goose chase. The first wild goose chase. True or false? Cleopatra died in the battle fighting Octavian's forces. True or false? False. Cleopatra's tragic death by snakebite was after Octavian's forces reached Alexandria. All right. Cleopatra successfully hid all her treasure from Octavian. True or false? This is also false. Cleopatra secured some of her treasure and important documents, but didn't hide it all successfully, unfortunately. True or false? The mystery of Cleopatra's hidden treasure became a popular legend after her death. Sounds true. I would think. That's true. Stories of Cleopatra's hidden treasure captivated the world after her death. Easy enough. More. True or false? Cleopatra's reign was marked by a constant peace and prosperity. Was her reign marked by constant peace and prosperity? False. While there are periods of prosperity, the story also details numerous conflicts and challenges during her reign. Yeah, she was pretty crazy. True or false? Cleopatra's life continues to inspire and fascinate people in modern times. I'd say so. Anytime you get Elizabeth Taylor playing you in a major motion picture. True, Cleopatra remains a symbol of power and intrigue, with her legend growing every day. That's gotta be it. All right, well, thank you for enjoying those. Hopefully you did well on that round. And let's get back to some speed painting now. Here we go. We've got two last rounds. We've got legendary warriors. We've got events in Middle Ages, which might be a little bit harder. But here we go with 10 legendary warriors of the ancient world. First up, his mother dipped him in the river Styx, making him nearly invincible. He was a key figure in a war over a beautiful woman. His only vulnerability was a spot on his heel. Let me try to say that again. Vulnerability. He is the central character in an epic poem by Homer. This Greek hero is synonymous with strength and a famous weakness. That's right, his name is kind of both strength and a famous weakness. So notice who this one is. Anybody got it? Famous poem by Homer. Dipped in the river Styx. This is Achilles. Achilles is one of the most legendary figures in Greek mythology, celebrated for his prowess in battle and his tragic fate. Achilles, of course. Okay, remember, we're doing legendary warriors of the ancient world. This guy was known as the Scourge of God by the Romans. This was an enemy of the Romans. His empire stretched from the Danube to the Baltic. So he was in the north. He was feared across both the Western and Eastern Roman empires. He was feared. His invasions were relentless, and he aimed to conquer Rome. Anybody have a guess? He was the most famous ruler of the Huns. That should be the key clue. Who was the most famous ruler of the Huns? This kind of looks like him. I think the robots did okay with this one. This is Attila. Attila the Hun remains one of history's most feared conquerors, symbolizing the ferocity of the Huns. Symbolizing the ferocity. There he is. Okay, number 3 in legendary warriors of the ancient world. He was originally a gladiator before leading a revolt. His rebellion threatened the Roman Republic. Wow. He led a massive slave uprising in Italy. This is the guy. This is the guy that led that slave uprising. This is the guy that was played in the movie by Michael Douglas's father. So there's your good clip. Though the revolt was crushed, his legacy endures. This Thracian gladiator became a symbol of resistance against oppression. Thracian. I think that's the place he was from, was Thrace. Anybody know who this is? Kirk Douglas? This is Spartacus. Spartacus is remembered as a symbol of defiance whose struggle against the Roman Republic became legendary. Spartacus. There he is. Okay, we're on to our legendary warrior. This is maybe the most legendary. He was tutored by a philosopher, Aristotle. He was tutored by Aristotle. His empire stretched from Greece to India. Who knows this story? He never lost a battle in his entire military career. By age 30, he had created one of the largest empires in history. He is known as the Great. He is one of the most celebrated conquerors in history. Tutored by Aristotle. This is Alexander, of course. Alexander the Great's conquests changed the course of history, spreading Greek culture across 3 continents. There he is, Alexander the Great. Alexander. We're halfway home. Number 5. Legendary warriors of the ancient world. He was a warrior king of a militaristic Greek city-state. He led a small force against a much larger Persian army. His last stand became a symbol of courage and sacrifice. Who remembers this guy? The battle he is famous for took place at Thermopylae. Thermopylae. This Spartan king is best remembered for leading the 300 Spartans. You guys see that movie? 300? Huh? Yeah. Quite the movie. Who is that? King Leonidas. Leonidas the First of Sparta. Leonidas the First heroism at the Battle of Thermopylae is a powerful symbol of bravery against overwhelming odds. Leonidas. Where is Leonidas? Number 6 in famous warriors of the ancient world. This gentleman was one of the greatest military commanders in history, well known. He famously crossed the Alps with a herd of war elephants. Who's heard that story? Who was that? His tactics are still studied in military academies today. Who knows? He posed a significant threat to Rome during the Second Punic War. This Carthaginian, it's hard to say. He's from Carthage. General is best known for his audacious campaign in Italy. Who is this? Elephant. He's the elephant guy. Came over the Alps with elephants. You know. This is Hannibal. Hannibal Barca. Hannibal Barca is celebrated for his strategic genius and his daring military campaigns against Rome from Carthage. Carthaginian. There, I said it properly. Carthaginian. Number 7. This guy was the king of Uruk, which was the first big city of civilization, I think. One of the earliest cities in human history. There you go. His story is one of the earliest known works of literature. That's interesting. He sought immortality after the death of his friend Enkidu. Uruk. He is often depicted as a demigod with superhuman strength. I guess it was a while ago, so stories get convoluted. This Sumerian hero is the protagonist of an epic named after him. Everybody know the story? And the name of this guy? The story and the name are the same? This is Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh. The Epic of Gilgamesh is a foundational text in world literature, exploring themes of friendship, mortality, and the quest for meaning. Gilgamesh. There you go. 3 more. We've got 3 more. 3 more to go. Let's get a woman warrior, should we? Shall we? She was a queen of the Celtic tribe in Britain, or Celtic if you prefer. She led a revolt against Roman occupation. Her forces destroyed Roman cities, including Londinium, which I don't know, is Londinium where London is today? Londinium? Don't know. Maybe somebody knows. Her uprising was ultimately defeated by the Romans. This queen of the Iceni tribe became a symbol of British resistance. Queen of the Iceni. Queen of the Iceni. Queen of this fabulous. She was quite the warrior. This is Boudica. Boudica's legacy as a fierce leader who challenged the might of Rome endures as a symbol of resistance and national pride for those Brits. There she is, Boudica. Warrior Queen. Two more. This gentleman was a Germanic chieftain who once served in the Roman army. He is best known for his role in a decisive battle against Rome. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? He orchestrated an ambush that annihilated 3 Roman legions. The battle he led took place in Teutoburg Forest. Teutoburg Forest. I got to say that with like a Scandinavian accent. Teutoburg Forest. This Germanic leader is celebrated. This Germanic leader is celebrated as a national hero for halting the Roman expansion. He's the guy who stopped the Romans. This is Arminius from Germania. Arminius' victory at the Battle of Teutoburg Forest is seen as a defining moment in the history of Germania. Arminius. There you go. Okay, we're on to our last warrior legend of the ancient world. Let's see if you can get this one. He was a military strategist and philosopher from ancient China. He is credited with writing a highly influential book on warfare. That's pretty good. That should do it. His work has been studied by military leaders for centuries. Everybody reads his book. His teachings emphasize the importance of strategy and deception in battle. Strategy and deception. He is the author of The Art of War. Who is it? Anybody know who this guy is? The author of The Art of War. That's easy enough to Google. This is Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu, the author of The Art of War, remains one of the most important texts on military strategy, and he influenced leaders in fields far beyond the military. There he is. All right, well, that was more challenging than I think we wanted it to be, but we made it. We made it through. So you think you can handle one more category? Here we go. This is going to be even harder because this is going to illustrate events. So when it's a person, it's a little easier. When it's an event, it's more conceptual, right? So the picture, you got to pay attention to clues. Tie the picture with the clues as thematic, okay? The picture is thematic. So these are key events of the Middle Ages. Key events of the Middle Ages. The city at the heart of this event was sacked multiple times in final years. This event marked the end of an era and the start of the Middle Ages. So what event is well known to be the start of the Middle Ages? Who knows that one? What started the Middle Ages? The empire in question had ruled much of Europe for centuries. Surely you know that. The final blow came from a Germanic king named Odoacer. Odoacer, Odoacer, Odoacer. Don't know the name. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm gonna have to look that up. This this is traditionally considered the fall of the Western Roman Empire. So the event that we were looking for on this one is the fall of Rome, and it happened in 476 CE or AD, however you like to say it. The fall of Rome signaled the decline of the ancient civilization and transition into the Middle Ages of Europe. So this is the event that began the Middle Ages. All right, so as we get into the Middle Ages, this was a key event. He was a king of the Franks, or Franks, and the Lombards before this event happened. He greatly expanded his empire through military conquest. This event occurred on Christmas Day. Who knows what this event in Middle Ages is? Key event. He was crowned by Pope Leo III in St. Petersburg Basilica. So it happened in St. Peter's. This event marked the revival of the title Emperor of the Romans. They went from 476 all the way to 800 CE or AD for this event. Who knows what this event is? Anybody any guesses? This was the coronation of Charlemagne. Coronation of Charlemagne established the foundations of the Holy Roman Empire and reshaped European history. Right in the heart of the Middle Ages. That's right. All right, let's go on to the number 3 event in the Middle Ages. This happened in 1066 CE or AD, however you like to say it. This event involved a pivotal battle in England. The invasion was led by a duke from Normandy. 1066. The decisive battle was fought at a place now named after it. This conquest introduced Norman culture and feudalism to England. The leader of this invasion became known as William the Conqueror. Who led? What did William the Conqueror do? What conquest did he lead? Well, it's the Norman conquest, of course. The Norman conquest drastically altered the course of English history with lasting effects on its culture, law, and language. A key event in the Middle Ages. Middle Ages are sometimes known as the Dark Ages, although the Dark Ages are kind of first, Middle Ages second, or vice versa. All right, number 4. This happened in 1096 to 1099 CE or AD. This was a military expedition called by a pope to reclaim Holy Lands. It led to the establishment of several Crusader states in the Middle East. The expedition was initially motivated by religious fervor. What was this event called? 1096 AD. The goal was to recapture Jerusalem from the Muslim rule. That should be the clue, right? That should give it to you. What was this event? This was the first of a series, there's another good clue, of religious wars known as the Crusades. So, what's this one? This is the First Crusade, of course. That's the event. The First Crusade had a profound impact on Christian-Muslim relations and the geopolitics in the Middle East. I bet it did. Lots of trouble. There it is, the Crusades. So again, these are a little harder because the picture is kind of representing a theme rather than a person, right? So it's a little harder. You got to go by the clues, I think. Next up, this document was forced upon a reluctant king by his barons. This is 1215 AD, by the way. It was signed by Runnymede near the River Thames. So it was in England. There you go. It is often cited as an early step towards constitutional government. Wow, first step. Who knows that? Who knows that one? It's in the Middle Ages still, too. It limited the power of monarchy and established certain legal rights. This charter is famously known as the Great Charter. So what else is it called? Who knows? Key thing, Middle Ages. This is the Magna Carta. Magna Carta 1215 AD. The Magna Carta is considered a cornerstone of modern legal and political systems influencing constitutional law worldwide. This is the basis for all the stuff. There it is. Basis for the Constitution and everything. You bet. Hey, remember, we're doing key events of the Middle Ages. Key events of the Middle Ages. This is definitely a key event during the Middle Ages. Everybody probably knows this one. Let's see if you can get it. This event was caused by a bacterium transmitted by fleas. Fleas to rats. Rats, fleas to humans. It resulted in widespread panic and social upheaval. It killed an estimated 1/3 of Europe's population. Doesn't sound good. The plague led to significant labor shortages and economic changes. Lasting impact. This devastating pandemic is also known as the Black Death. That's right. Key event in the Middle Ages, the Black Death had a profound impact on a European society, leading to major economic, social, and cultural shifts. 1347 to 1351, a four-year deal, the Black Death. Yes, the Middle Ages were a time of happiness. All right, next up, key events in the Middle Ages. This conflict was primarily between England and France. Always. It was always between England and France. Lots of trouble. It was driven by disputes over territorial claims and the right to the French throne. The war saw the rise of national identities in both countries. So they really figured out who they were. It included famous battles like Agincourt, and figures like Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc participated in this. This prolonged conflict is known as the 100 Years' War. And again, this is now 1337 to 1453, so not quite 100 years, but we'll round off. AD or CE, depending on your preference. The 100 Years' War shaped the future of both England and France, influencing their political landscapes and national identities. So again, robots just trying to do a thematic piece that kind of represents the event, right? 100-Year War. There it is. 3 more, and we're done for the evening. Thank goodness. Okay, think of the Middle Ages and key events in the Middle Ages, okay? This event caused a split within the Catholic Church. Multiple claimants to the papacy, multiple claimants to the papacy emerged, creating confusion and division. Who was going to be the Pope? Are they going to do it from the east or from the west? I don't know. The schism weakened the church's authority and led to calls for reform. It lasted nearly 40 years, during which time the church was deeply divided. This period of division in the church is known as... Who knows what it's known as? It has a specific name. It was 1378 to 1417 AD. It has a specific name. It was called the Great Schism. Great Schism was a major crisis in the history of the Catholic Church. It contributed to the decline of papal authority, and it set the stage for many later reforms. The Great Schism. Now, somewhat related, although not for the same reason. This next event number 9 in the Middle Ages, this event marked the end of an empire that had lasted over 1,000 years. It was the final blow to the Eastern Roman Empire. Now, remember, the Roman Empire was from 453 or something like that, all the way up to now. This is 1453 AD. And the city was besieged by an army using advanced military technology for the time. The leader of the conquering force was the Sultan Mehmed II. Sultan Mehmed. This event is known as the fall of what? This is the fall of Constantinople, 1453 AD. The fall of Constantinople, I didn't say that properly. The fall of Constantinople was a watershed moment in history, signaling the end of the Byzantine Empire and the rise of the Ottoman Empire. Byzantine, Ottoman. There you go. There it is. Constantinople. Hagia Sophia. Okay, last one, mercifully coming to a close. Key events of the Middle Ages. Now let's see if you can get this one. This invention revolutionized the spread of information in Europe. This invention, I can give you a date, 1440 AD. It was developed by a German goldsmith and inventor. The first major book printed was the Gutenberg Bible. What was the key event of the Middle Ages? Kind of like ending. This definitely ended the Middle Ages, I would say. This is heading into the Renaissance. This invention is credited with helping to spread the Renaissance and Reformation. There you go. The inventor is Johannes Gutenberg, and the device is, who knows? Last chance. This is the printing press. The invention of the printing press in 1440 AD is one of the most significant developments in human history, drastically altering the spread of knowledge and ideas. So there you go. Oh my goodness, we made it to the end. It was a little bit hard tonight. My apologies if it was too hard. But I do appreciate anyone that hung out and played the game with us. So I do appreciate that. And I will... with that, I will say goodnight. And again, we're doing this on Wednesdays and Sunday evenings at the same time, 7 p.m. So come give us a look whenever you get a chance. All right. Good night, everybody. See ya.